I just personally feel like, yes, like, yes, you know, do that. Why wouldn't you? Anyways, so the third thing that I think is extremely important when looking for your computer is going to be your storage space. And it grinds my gears. It's a personal thing, it's just to like get over yourself, but it grinds my gears when people mistake memory for storage, because they are not the same thing and they do not do the same thing. And yes, they both are in measures of gigabytes. They don't have the same job. Like, your brain is not the same as your stomach. Your brain is not the same as your mouth. It's just not the same, okay? So again, memory is keeping track of everything, kind of like our memory. As far as like when I explain it to others, I feel like it helps. The basic 3 things that you need when picking your computer. Think of memory as the mind. And we're gonna think of storage space maybe as like your stomach. Storage space is going to be your saved things. So your saved documents, the music that you save, you're downloading files from emails, folders in general, that is going to be your storage space. So the things you're saving on the computer for long term, that is the food that you are feeding into your computer. It's going into the stomach, the storage. Your memory is keeping track of everything that you're doing, your memory. Also known as RAM. Memory is not the same as storage. When someone's like, oh, I want like 512 for my memory. So not only do you work for the FBI, but you also work for NASA, and you also, I don't know what you do. I don't know what kind of super job you do, but you can't. I can't help you find a computer that has 500 for the memory because I'm not the president of the United States. What I can do is help you that has 512 for the storage, okay? Storage space is a little bit different. It's going to be 64, 128, 256, 512, the glorious terabyte, and then so on and so forth. But the reason I have ranked storage space in the last category, because you can always do external drives, you can always use flash drives, you can use cloud storage. Cloud storage, I kind of have mixed opinions about, if I'm being honest. So again, external drives, flash drives, you can always kind of get more storage space. Now, some people want that storage space on the physical device, i.e. your phone, when it says like storage is full, and it's like, well, I need more though. So how are we gonna fix this? I will say, make flash drives that'll stick directly into your phone, whether it's an Android or an Apple, so you can get your stuff off and then kind of save it somewhere else, so you can open up some space. But again, if you're gonna be saving information directly on your computer, you may want to opt for a little bit more space. Just throwing that out there. 64 is usually going to come with something that has a 1 for the processor. So again, if it's for a child, they're online playing games, they maybe watch Netflix or Hulu or something like that, and that's all that they use it for. They maybe check their emails, that's all that they use it for. 64 is okay. Cringe a little bit because I just don't feel like anybody over the age of 13, nope, I know, nope. And I know that's me speaking from a place of privilege, because I do know that computers are not necessarily like a necessity, but kind of in the day and age that we live in certain work fields, it's needed. So I understand, like, without computers we can still live our lives. Like, kind of how I talk about my PlayStation, like, could I live without my PlayStation? Yes. Does it make life a lot easier? Absolutely. You know, that kind of thing. So I definitely understand that we don't need computers, but sometimes you kind of need a computer, you know. Anyways, that's less than the average phone. The average phone is sitting at like 128. Just don't do it. If you don't have to, don't do it. If you have to, comment below, like, talk to me, like, we can figure this out, like, let's just talk about it. But if you have to, no, like, do what you gotta do. Understood. But if you don't have to, we're moving on to 128. 128 I feel like is okay. Again, it's kind of the size of the average phone if you're using it maybe for some of the same things that you use on your phone. So again, we're just checking emails, I'm just looking at a video here or there. I usually use it for watching movies. I feel like 128 is okay. 256 is standard if you are using it for school, so you're writing papers, you're saving information. 256 should be your starting point in my opinion. If you are using it for work and you do any type of saving information to the computer, saving stuff, and I'm going to come back to it later, 256. Working with larger files, because that definitely is a factor. If you're working with videos, if you're working with music, if you maybe write books, instruction plans like for bridges, for buildings, I would just opt for the 512s. Like, just give yourself some wiggle room, give yourself some space to save what you need to save, updates, software, things like that. Like, give yourself some space. A terabyte, I live in Texas, so you know, they say everything is bigger in Texas, so maybe I just like to live life on the large side. Again, I like the idea of like have more sometimes, you know. It's better to have more and not need it, and then have less and like need it, you know. So you have 128 and your computer is full and you're like, but I need to save this file so I can finish it tomorrow and turn it in to my boss, or so I can turn in this extra credit assignment. You can't do it. You're gonna have to go back through your files and stress yourself out a little bit more and delete some stuff because you don't have the space. You don't want to do that. I don't want you to do that. I want you to save yourself some stress, save yourself some tension in your shoulders and in the back of your neck and in your eyebrows and your forehead. Opt for 256, have you some space, maybe an external drive. Opt for 512, have your wiggle room. If you are able to get a terabyte, woohoo! I'm clapping for you because I'm happy for you. You feel me? I don't have a terabyte. I have a 2 terabyte external drive, so I'm good. I have some flash drives. I'm good. But if you can get more storage, if anything, I would opt for a little bit more storage built in on the device. The main 3 things that you have to think about when searching for your computer. I will say, as far as storage goes, there's 2 options. The average computer nowadays is going to have SSD, which is solid state drive. It's a faster way of storing information. So as far as turning your computer on, shutting it down properly, you know, how quickly you can save information, how quickly your computer is going to read and write that information, as far as like transferring it, moving stuff from your computer to your flash drive, vice versa, moving stuff from your phone to your computer, all that good stuff. State is the way to go. If it's an older computer, and some desktops, some gaming desktops will have HDD. HDD is more so like a mechanical drive, like spinning, moving parts. So it does take a little bit more time. If you have an i3, if you have a 1 and you have an HDD drive, then take your time, pop some popcorn. You may be sitting there for a while. But again, those are the main 3 things to think about when getting your computer. You want to think about your processor, which is your processing speed. You want to think about your memory, which is going to help with your speed. And you want to think about your storage, which is everything that you're saving onto the device. That hopefully will help someone out there who's trying to figure out what computer they need for themselves. If you do have any further questions about that, please feel free to leave a comment. If you need me to explain it in a different way, hopefully that helped. Oh yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do a different one for like gaming computers, for Apple devices, for Chromebooks. We're gonna get into what you need, what's gonna work best for you, how you use it. And yeah, so stay tuned. Again, comment, like, subscribe, and more to come. Yeah. Again, my name is Amina. I don't even know if I said that at the beginning. But you know, hey, what's up? My name is Amina, and we're gonna talk about computers.